West Ham have been leaving it late in recent weeks, and now we come up against Roy Hodgson's Crystal Palace side. In a game historically at the London Stadium, we don't do too well. In recent years, we haven't picked up a hell of a lot of points against the Eagles, and Moyes will be hoping to make a change to that tomorrow as we are the build-up, the warm-up Super Sunday game live on Sky Sports at 2 o'clock. Gary is joining me for the preview. Gary, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Jake. You?
That's not bad. Mike was here, then he went, and he's come back. Mike, how are you?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there, mate.
It's all right.
Yeah, good, mate. Thank you very much.
Yeah, glad to hear it. Well, I've put some tinsel up because someone's had to make an effort because, we're now in December, which officially declares Christmas right here on West Ham Official. Any earlier is just wrong. So I've got a bit of tinsel going up around the gaff. I've got a Santa's hat as well there. Are we appreciating the Christmasness, lads?
Mate, I've spent all day doing decks, but my office stays deck-free.
Fair enough. Before we get into it, let's see who we've got in the chat. Hammerhead, thank you very much indeed for joining us. He says, evening, Hammers and Hammerette. Hope you're all well and enjoying our lovely, bitterly cold weekend. Yes, it's fresh. It's fresh to say the least. Let's scroll down. Lawrence, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Hope you're well. Sharky as well. Peter, good evening all. Judging by reports, all four who missed Thursday could miss tomorrow. We'll come on to that a little bit later. But firstly, Gary, how are you feeling about this after some pretty flat performances in the last two against Burnley and against TSC back at Topola?
Yeah, I think flat's the right word, Jake. We were very flat both games with dull as Ditford. I watched them both and they were really, really poor.
Yeah.
I just hope tomorrow that, I know I bang out every single time I come on here, but Maxwell Cornet got to be given a start. I thought when he came on, quality ball to get across. Let's give him a go, put him up front. Absolutely. Bit of energy. I thought Mbama was unlucky. He just didn't get any support at all. So I'll give him another go. And hopefully one of Kudos and Bowen makes it. Otherwise, again, Pablo's in the wrong position. I'll play him and just sit behind the front two as well. So let's see what Moyes does. But we need to go for it. Because Palace lost to Luton, I believe, last game, so they're not in good form. So let's go for it.
I think we've encountered quite a lot of, or I think the main issue that we encountered, Mike, in our game on Thursday night was we lacked that bit of creativity, I thought, and drive to go forward, and that's where Bowen and Kudus inevitably come in to, our two best on form players in the side at the moment, and we did miss them, and that was always going to happen. But the thing that struck me is the players that were there, and until Cornet came on, I'm 100% agree with Gary because I thought Cornet was really good when he came on, and he was a difference. It was a brilliant ball in for Souček to score in the end, but I think it massively exposed, without having Kudus and Bowen there, how one-dimensional our attack is, and I sort of positioned that towards Ben Rama to an extent as well, how one-dimensional we are, and if one thing don't work, that's it, we're ballsed basically.
Yeah, I think also Cornet's pace. We didn't have the normal pace, did we, have with Kudus and Bowen? We just didn't have that outlet either. It was difficult. It was a lot of changes. Pitch didn't look very good either. So there was a lot of things which pointed towards it was a poor performance. Let's face it. They didn't look like scoring, and nor did we. I thought it was just going to end up 0-0. Cornet come on, and I thought he looked lively, and I think he deserves a chance. Yeah. I think we said it a few weeks ago, Jake. I think we don't know what he can do because we've not seen enough of the guy. So I want to see him given a chance, definitely. Bamba as well. I mean, felt sorry for him. No service at all. How many balls did he get into his feet or into a channel or a crosses for him? Nothing. Absolutely. We gave him nothing. So, he didn't do a lot, but what do you expect when you don't get service?
And the difference that Mbama provided compared to Danny Ings, Gary, is that I'd argue that, he's a natural striker. You can tell that he did drift in and out, I thought, at times, which I think it was Clive Allen on commentary just said maybe he needs to stay a little bit more central and wait for it, but just a bit more intensity and a bit more press. And we'd all prefer to see him there than Danny Ings, 100%. Listen, we don't know whether Bowen's fit. We're hoping he's going to be fit. But if he is or if he isn't, we'd all prefer to see Mbama there if Bowen can't play, wouldn't we?
It's a complete no-brainer, Jake. The lad's 19 years old. He's got his whole future ahead of him. Now, he needs to run the games. Antonio's not fit. Let's give him 10 games, 5 games, however long it takes. He's going to learn. He's going to learn so much playing. He started, that's his second game, I think he started on Thursday. He never started a Premier League game. He's going to learn a lot. And he's going to make mistakes, but he's 19 years old. Let's give him a go. He's raw. He's keen. He's a West Ham fan. He's energetic. He runs about. And I'm not blaming Danny Ings. Danny Ings, it is what it is with him. He's 33 years old. He's, on the last payday. Good luck to the guy. But he shouldn't be starting for us. So Mbamba is the guy. The other guy, Callum Marshall, scored another 2 today or yesterday, whatever. He's up to 20 for a season. So let's see him as well. Let's
absolutely.
Yeah.
With the stupid amount of games we've got coming up in the festive period, Moyes has got to rotate. Coming on to our opponents for this game, making this trip over to the London Stadium. Crystal Palace find themselves 12th in the Premier League. Points-wise, they are up to 15 from the 13 played currently. And last time out, they suffered a defeat to the hands of Luton Town. This doesn't look good reading for West Ham. Just been beaten by Luton the weekend before. They'll be needing a response 100% from Roy's side. And look, I think they've shown over the last few years. They went to Vieira. That obviously didn't work. They've gone back to Roy. They're a side that are always going to finish anywhere between 10th and 14th and not be in any relegation trouble, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, they always do enough, don't they? Well, they do enough just to stay up. They've got some exciting players. I know one of them's missing, Eze. I think, Elise, the other guy. I mean, they have got some good players. There's no doubt about it. But, I mean, you look around it and the rest of them are just average, absolutely average Premier League players, aren't they, really? But I'll tell you, on their given day, they'll beat anyone. And if we're not on it, they'll beat us tomorrow. That's all to it. So, yeah, we've got to be up for it and we've got to be on it.
I agree, Mike. One thing I would say, I think I felt sorry for Elise last week because he scored an absolute fantastic goal. And nobody said anything about it because God Nasser scored like the goal of the millennium. So it wasn't even mentioned. So you've got to watch out for Elise. He's a good player.
Yeah, he is
Absolutely.
good. He had problems in the last game when we played him, I remember.
Yeah,
he is pieces at times, but
he is a dangerous player, and he is one of that front line that you've got to look out for 100%. And they're a side that when they click, really well. And look, Crystal Palace, you just never know what you're going to get with them. They could turn up and play you off the park, or they could turn up and be dreadful. They're just one of those sides that have got that element of unpredictability about them. And with our unpredictable starting lineup, I think it sets up for quite an even. You'd expect a dull game if it's anything to go off the last 180 minutes of West Ham football we've had to sit through. If I'm being brutally honest with you, could you expect anything different from the Burnley and the TSC games, Gary, or are we expecting the same again?
I hope so. If we start well and the crowd gets behind them, then that's what we need. We need a good start. I mean, last season, I think Palace beat us in the last minute injury time with a deflected winner. And I remember sat in the stadium seeing it loop up in the air and think, oh no. So, and Zaha's not playing, which is always good. He's gone now because he always played well against us. And the other guy that always plays well against us is Ayew. He always plays well against us. So let's hope we it's energy, Jake. That's what we need. We're going to be tired, but let's give it a go in the first half an hour. Let's really push them back. So they, as you said, Mike said earlier, that apart from a couple, they're very average, especially at the back. They're no great shakes. So we should attack them and believe in ourselves and get 3 points.
100%. Let's have a little look at the team news, what has been posted on the website. Here we go. If I've done my typical thing again. Right, is that on screen? I don't know. Oh, it is. Good. Right, team news. Mikel Antonio is continuing his progression from an injury sustained on international duty with Jamaica in mid-November. So Antonio out of the question. Jarrad Bowen, meanwhile, was absent from the squad away at TSC on Thursday, as was Edson Alvarez, Vladimir Coufal and Mohamed Kudus. We seem to believe in the camp there's a bit of an illness going round at the moment that's affecting a few players. So we are currently none the wiser to know whether any of these players are going to be well enough, fit enough to play the game. So Bowen, Alvarez, Coufal and Kudus, there's question marks over them. But even if they were ready to go, Moyes probably would say maybe, just to keep Crystal Palace in the limbo a little bit. In terms of the visitors, they will be without Czech Decore after he was stretchered off in the Eagles' defeat at Luton last weekend. And Eze as well was substituted with an injury in that match. So there's an expectation that Eberechi Eze will not be involved tomorrow at the London Stadium. Goalkeeper Dean Henderson has also been dealing with a hip injury. Meanwhile, former Hammer James Tompkins is believed to be nearing a return, however, after an absence. So James Tompkins could be coming up against his former club, West Ham, tomorrow. We've discussed it. The Eze, that's different. The Eze, I pressed the wrong button and it's all going different. Anyway, the Eze situation is a massive boost for West Ham. You don't want any player to get injured, but he's probably their most important player. And for him to be out, Gary, I think that's a plus for West Ham.
Absolutely, big plus. It'd be interesting to see, I don't know what you two guys think about if Soufal doesn't start, who he plays at right back. Because I'm still not massively.
Let's have that discussion then. Come then. So you've got Kehrer or Johnson. I don't like Johnson, to be honest with you. Well, it's not I don't like him, I don't know him. But in terms of football, I don't rate him. I was astounded that he didn't play Kehrer on Thursday night, to be honest with you. In my opinion, I'd have played Kehrer because I thought he played well towards the back end of last season and hasn't got a sniff since. Mike, if Soufal isn't available, who would you go for?
I like Kehrer, actually. And like I said, he was playing well towards the end of last season. But I didn't think Johnson was that bad the other night, to be totally honest. But he's had his better games at left back, believe it or not. He's always performed better at left back than he has at right back. So, me personally, I'd go with Kehrer. But, I don't know. He's obviously wanted to give Johnson a game the other night, I think.
Yeah.
I think because he's had no game time at all. So, I think he thought, well, I've got to give him a game. So, he slotted him in there. But, if Soufal's out, I'd go with Kehrer.
I would as well. I'm like 100%. I'm still scarred by that Brighton game last season. I was down.
Gary, why on earth have you mentioned that?
It was one of the worst performances I've ever seen from a West Ham player ever. So I'm sorry, Ben. I'm sure you're a nice guy, but you should be shipped out, I'm afraid.
Yeah, I agree. Sharky's been very grateful. He's feeling the festivities here at West Ham Official and has gifted Dad a 1 month membership. Thank you very much indeed for supporting the channel, Sharky. That will go towards my Christmas fund. That is greatly appreciated. It won't go towards my Christmas fund because I've got to pay for StreamYard in January. So it's going to go towards StreamYard. So thank you very much, Sharky. That is greatly appreciated. The lucky recipient. That is brilliant. Thank you very much, Sharky. Kehrer should start. So Lawrence is in agreement with us. Peter says, whenever people say opponents are missing players, it never seems to end well. It will be Kudus at right back. Doing the Antonio role.
Danny Ings.
Yeah. Danny Ings is the holder in midfield as Edson Alvarez is unavailable. Dad reckons he's celebrating by eating all the sweet chili crisps on a Saturday night. We have a big bag of crisps between us. You're not, because they're still in the cupboard because you haven't walked upstairs and picked them up yet. So you haven't eaten them, have you? Peter says Moyes doesn't want Kehrer to get injured as he's probably off in January. He's going to ship one of them off in January. I think Johnson or Kehrer. I hope it's not Kehrer because I think he's decent, but we'll see. How crucial I think it's evident and it's obvious the hopefully the involvement. See, he's walking upstairs now. He'll be getting the crisps. Unbelievable. Right, where was I? Edson Alvarez. No, Alvarez was next. What I was going to say, you can rustle them all you like. Go away. Honestly, try and create a professional environment around here, and I just get crap like that. Right, blinkers on now. Edson Alvarez is a player that you can tell when he's missing. He's a player that is quite important and crucial to the way Moyes wants to play. Again, it was evident when he was missing Thursday night. Gary, how crucial is it we can get the Mexican back involved tomorrow?
Really, really crucial, because I really didn't like the look of Souček and Ward-Prowse in there at all.
No.
They just didn't have enough power to me, and I think we'll get really overrun if those two start. So, let's really hope he's fit. I honestly trying to think the alternative would be. I mean, maybe Kehrer could play defensive midfield. I don't know.
It's pushing it a bit for Moyes' creativity, that I think. Isn't it?
I don't know, but those two together don't work. I don't think myself. That's my personal view, anyway.
I agree with that.
Yeah, Mike, anything to add on that?
Yeah, I agree with that. we do need Alvarez. I think he's been one of the main players for us. He's took that position that Rice was playing before he wanted to push forward, and he's done it well. I mean, he's not going to get up the park very often, but we just know what he's going to do, and all the team knows he's going to be there. He makes those important challenges and just moves that ball along. I mean, he's good on the ball. He's really good on the ball. He's tidy. I like him. I think he gives us a bit of aggression as well. We miss him when he's not playing. We miss him big time.
Yeah, I think it'd be a massive hole, Jake, if he didn't play tomorrow. That's going to be a big gap. That.
Yeah, for sure. Kudus, I mean, it's obvious the sort of impact that he has on that side. How would you manufacture, sort of construct your attack with the information that we have that Kudus is maybe a doubt, will maybe be in there? Obviously, it's hard to do it without that information. But saying Kudus is going to be there and saying Bowen is also going to be there, let's be quite positive about it. So you've got Bowen, you've got Kudus, you've got Paqueta, you've got a striker, whether that is Bowen or Mubama or whoever. I try and fit Cornet in there if I can as well. Exactly. How are you fixing that all together, Gary? What would you go for?
If Bowen and Kudus are fit, I'll play Bowen up front with Kudus on the right, and they keep interchanging quite nicely. I like that. Paqueta in the middle, and as you say, Jake, Cornet's got to be given a go on the left. I am sick and tired of Ben Rama on the left-hand side cutting back on his right foot. He does it.
And even Paqueta as well. I think he's wasted out there, Paqueta.
Yeah, exactly. And, Moyes puts Ben Rama there, and he's not quick enough to be a winger in the Premier League. He's got 1 foot. And same with Pablo when he plays a winger. He's not quick enough either. He's a centre midfield player. Put Cornet on the wing to where he deserves to be and give him a go. It's quite easy. Cornet, Kudus, Bowen in front 3 with Paqueta behind. That's what I play.
Yeah. There's a discussion about Ward-Prowse in the chat. We'll talk about him now. Peter says Ward-Prowse showing why no one else was in for him now. He had a great start in Claret and Blue, and then he sort of tailed off a little bit when we got to that international break. Everybody tailed off when we got to that international break, didn't they? And we're at a crossroads now where are you, Mike? I'll come to you. Do you think he does enough?
Yeah, I do. I honestly do. I think he needs Alvarez, though.
Yeah,
he needs Alvarez alongside him. If he's got him there, then he can pick up the little bits and pieces off him. And his passing ability I think, has improved us no end. I know, he's been playing nearly every single game. He probably needed a bit of a rest, to be fair to him, because he's had to play. Because every time someone gets, someone's always been injured in midfield, haven't they? Or someone's been unavailable in midfield. Then he has got to play, full stop. We've got no one else. And so he's been forced into playing every single game. And I wouldn't knock him. I think you look at his numbers, they're brilliant. You look at his numbers, they are, high quality. I never expected him to totally run the midfield, beat 2 or 3 players and, stick a worldie in the top corner. He's not that sort of player. What we got to realise is he is a sort of player that just picks up the little bits and pieces and make those little passes. And if he's got Alvarez alongside him and Paqueta there as well, I think that's a great balance.
The irony of it is he's still 1 goal off of David Beckham's record in terms of free kicks. He's come to West Ham. He used to score them, pretty often, let's say, down on the South Coast at Southampton. Say 13 games so far and he hasn't got close, Gary. That's the West Ham itis of the Ward-Prowse situation. To be fair, we haven't really got many free kicks for him to have a go at. He's had a couple when he's hit a few over and all the rest of it. But do you think Ward-Prowse does enough?
Yeah, I think Mike hit the nail on the head. It's to do with the team around him. It's a team game football. He needs that defensive shield with Alvarez. I mean, if you put Lionel Messi, Ronaldo in with a team of rubbish players, they're going to be rubbish. They can't do it all on their own. Ward-Prowse, I think, is playing too deep at the moment. He needs to be further forward. We need Alvarez covering back. I think what I can see with Moyes, Ward-Prowse was sitting back, but it's not his position. He's not strong enough in the tackle. He's not physically imposing. He is someone to go forward as much as he plays a nice ball forward. He's a good dead ball specialist, and that's what he's good at. You ask him to sit back behind Souček, you're asking for trouble, which is what we did on Wednesday night. And we've got overrun because he's not quick either. He's average pace. He's not as slow as Noble, but he reminds me a little bit of Noble. Very good technically. I agree. Not good enough, physical enough around the park to be like the main man in midfield. Nobody's on around him all the time. Noble was brilliant. Slap behind him. he was a great player, knows. But if you asked him to do it on his own, like we did for the season, was it 16, 17? He's just dreadfully exposed, and that's what happened.
Yeah,
100%. And then you've got Souček in that midfield as well, who seems to be carrying us along at the moment. And you know, whether you think his in-game performances are amazing, he's got to win, you know, Player of the Month for West Ham last month, because he won West Ham football matches. Thomas Souček, there's no doubt about it. He won us the, you know, he won us the game. Well, he's won us the last 2 football matches, hasn't he? Against Burnley, against TSC. He's scored more goals. And Forest as well, yeah. He's scored way more goals so far this season than he scored in the entirety of last season. And you know, I don't think it could have happened to a nicer bloke as well. You know, he's a really, you can tell with the videos he does after, and that questionable celebration he does, everyone likes to have a laugh at as well. The little helicopter, that's good. And you know, I couldn't be happier for him. Fair play to him. You know, he's scoring goals every week, and that's got to give Moyes the incentive, Gary, to tell Souček to push forward. Let Ward-Prowse and Alvarez sort out the stuff behind. You get forward, you get into that box, and when Bowen or whoever puts that ball into the box, you make sure your knocking's on it. Or even to an extent as well, he's getting in at the back post and he's scoring with his feet as well. His touch and his passing seems to improve as well. Overall, he's got that bit of confidence, and I think his game overall has improved from, if we're being honest, Gary, how poor he was last season.
Last season, I'm fully convinced that Declan held him back. I mean, remember, I think Declan missed the game against Watford, I think, away, and Souček played with that. And he played really well, Souček, that game. And I thought to myself, Declan holds him back. Now, if you look at Thomas in isolation, he's a threat in our attacking. Obviously, for dead pieces, he worries people, and he's good at defending set pieces as well. Other than that, he doesn't do a lot. Let's be honest. But his biggest skill is getting on the end of things and causing trouble in the opposition's box, and that's what he's good at. You know, and he makes a nuisance of himself. He's, as you said, Jay, he's never going to be technically brilliant. We all know that. We all watched enough of him, but he seems more confident. He seems like last season he was trying to cover Declan, which is never his position. Now he seems to know what he's doing, get it forward at the end of the box. I mean, the finish against Burnley was fantastic, and the finish up against TSC was fantastic as well. So yeah, he's a man. He must be so confident as well at the moment. He must just think he's going to score every game. Which, to be fair, he is. So yeah, we need to, as you say, Jay, he's definitely player in November.
And you can see the improvement there, Mike, because I mean, last year he struggled to string 2 5-yard passes together. There was a video West Ham put on social media earlier where he sprayed a ball 30 or 40 yards over to Ben Rama midweek. He just seems to be a bit more confident and fluid with everything he does, and that's a credit to him.
Yeah, but like Gary's just said, Gary hit the nail on the head. He's playing the guy in his position he should be playing in. You know, that pass he made, 40-yard pass, you wouldn't have seen anything like that without the confidence he's picked up from scoring these goals. I said it last week as well. I said if Souček had a better touch and a yard more pace, he wouldn't be playing for us. He'd be playing for Real Madrid.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
He has got that knack of hitting the box at the right time in the right place. And that is something you either got or you haven't got. And he is so natural at it, but he's got to do it from a deeper, a slightly deeper position. He's not a striker, but, in players like Frank Lampard and I'm not saying he's a Frank Lampard by any means. I don't mean that. But players like Lampard and Gerrard, they knew how to do that. It's a gift. You've got it. And he's got it. And he's some fantastic finishes. Some of them have been superb finishes. That volley it's not easy.
No, I agree. Yeah.
Incredibly difficult finish as well, and at times last year it felt like he was always trying to find his mate Soufal to pass to, and Soufal didn't play midweek, and he thrived off of. He didn't thrive off Soufal not playing, but I think he's just thrived off of the confidence that he's acquired so far this season, and I think it's brilliant to see. Mandy says Moyes will start Ings up top, the pace machine. I do love some sarcasm, but if that happens, I will cry live.
Before we move on about Danny Ings, what's happened to his hair, by the way? His hair gets bigger and bigger every week. Is he like a transplant or something?
Don't even go there. Don't even go there.
Oh no, let's go there, Gary. Really don't, mate.
Peter says, Jake, you can afford a box of 24. He means to Chris with your money. Trust me, Peter, I can't. Trust me, I really, really can't. No, all good. All good. Right, scroll down. Kudus is more productive on the right wing. It says, Lawrence, I would keep pushing Souček forward. He has been very productive in the box. We need Dawson back for the James Ward-Prowse corners. We certainly do. And Dawson's a club legend, has been pictured with Declan Rice today. Of course, Arsenal played Wolves. A club legend with Declan Rice there. Good for Dawes. So just hope he had a wash after. As well, I'm only joking. I'm not. Played James Ward-Prowse in his right position. Absolutely. And I think that's fundamental to a lot of players in this side. Well, we haven't been doing well. It's because they're being played in the wrong positions.
Exactly.
Loved the Dawson goals from the corners, didn't we all? James Ward-Prowse, too deep. That's down to Moyes. Only need one holder in Alvarez. Absolutely, Kent. I hope you are keeping well. We're shocked to see Coventry on the bench on Thursday, as I thought he had been sent to Coventry. Literally, he just sort of disappeared, didn't he? But he was back on the bench. How are we doing with regards to yellow cards and possible suspensions? Alvarez can't be too far off 10 yellow cards, which is a 2-match suspension.
That's a 2-match back then. Yeah.
He's got 8. He's got 8.
Has he got 8? Is he? So he's 2 away.
But
that'll be a big miss. That'll be a big miss, wouldn't it?
That includes Europe, Jay. I don't know if that works in Premier League. I don't know how it works.
Oh right, okay. So yeah. I think he's got 7 in the league. I think I read. So
yeah.
Is what it
thing
is.
Jake, we're missing the one big positive. We're playing Crystal Palace, right?
Yeah.
And Antonio is not playing.
That's a very good point.
So
we can't throw it away in the last minute.
In the last minute, and let them score.
He's done that twice in the own regard. Jesus, I forgot about that.
Honestly,
that last game, Gary, you know where I sit behind that goal. You know, when he gave that ball away, I said, "You watch him." I said to Tom. And they did, and I seen that ball lobbing over the top.
Yeah, so did I, mate. I got
Now he didn't need to get that ball and just hold it out there. We didn't deserve a draw that day, but let's take it.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And the game before, the season before, Conor
Garrett, when he ran off. Yeah.
I can see the bad memories and PTSD just flooding through your mind.
It's both of them moments hurt me.
It does.
And then the worst Palace defeat of all time, of course, Jake, before you were born, is the old playoffs.
Oh God, yeah.
So Palace are not a popular name in my household.
No, not at all.
There we go. Right, Sharky's pulled out the joke of the day. Alvarez, he gets more cards than Hallmark. Very good, Sharky. That is superb. Full marks to you, Melissa. Thank you very much for joining us. Really hoping Bowen, Kudus, and Alvarez show up tomorrow. I mean, if all 3 of them play, I'd be buzzing. But I've just got a feeling that we may only see 1 or 2 of them, in my opinion. Sharky says, any chance of a Souček emoji, Jake, or a Kudus one? The way YouTube does this is I can only add a load of emojis with the amount of members I've got, so I can add 1 more emoji. So I'll add Souček, and then if I get 4 more members, YouTube will allow me to add another emoji. So if we get 4 more members, I'll add both of them. But after the show, I'll write that down. I will do a Souček emoji. See, if I think it was Mum said to me the other day, "God, Jake, you're getting old. I've got to write things down to remember to do it," and that's what I've started doing. I've started writing things down so I don't forget to do it.
Here's a question for you 2 boys. Would you take a defeat tomorrow for a guaranteed win at Spurs on Thursday?
Yes.
Me too. So we all agree.
It'll be a little bit bittersweet because I've been there the last 2 times and we've lost and we're not going next Thursday. So that would mildly irritate me. But if we could beat them, 100%. I'd rather beat them. I'd take, I'd just about probably take that because I think, well, it depends what Spurs turn up, really, doesn't it? If they get battered Sunday by City and if they're still without some major players, then we need to be looking at it as a game that we can profit from. But yeah, I would take 3 points out of 2 games, and then Fulham. I'll tell you what I do, Gary. I take 3 points off those 2 games if we beat Fulham. How about
that? Yeah, I agree with that. 6 points. 6 points in the next 3 games would be nice.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, take that.
It would. Souček must be one of the most stitched up players. I think he's had about 6 injuries in his 6 head injuries in his or like stitched up moments he's had. Honestly, he goes through the wars, doesn't he? Bless him. In his last 4 games, he scored 4 goals in all competitions. You know, and he scored 2 late goals. He scored 2 late goals for the Czech Republic, and he scored 2 late goals on the bounce for West Ham. He's loving a late goal.
3 late goals for us. Yeah,
3 late goals with the Forest game. Apologies. Yeah, so he scored like 5 games on the spin. He scored late goals in.
He must be the top scoring midfielder in the Premier League. He's got 7. He must be. He must be. You can't think of many midfielders that have scored more than that.
No. I'll have a little look at the list actually whilst we're thinking about it. See multitasking. Where is it? He can't be far off. Oh, I've got to scroll down to find him. How many has he scored? Do you know?
7 in all competitions.
7 in all comps, right? That's just the Premier League. He's not in the top 20 in the Premier League. That's why. I'll have a look in all comps, see how many. Yeah, it goes up against. Right, let's take some more of your comments and see what you were saying. So did Souček sign a new deal? We think he did, but it just hasn't been announced on social media, which is a bit bizarre. If 3 come back, okay, 2-1 to us. If not, 2-1 to them. Everyone's putting their predictions in already. Hold fire. We're not there yet. Peter says Ings hopes to end up.
He's not his way for sure.
He wants something, that's for sure.
I saw him on Thursday night, and I thought I could have swore you were bold.
Yeah. Honestly, it's just changing every week, isn't it? Kent says, anybody see the Sky panel wetting themselves about 41 saying he can now play in any Premier League side after saying he costs too much and some hypocrites? I watched the Soccer Saturday when they were talking about earlier when even they said they could get into, somebody said you can't get into the Man City side, but he'd be back up for Rodri. One of them fools on there said like he's going to be back up to Rodri. Honestly, these people get paid to talk this crap. It's absolute nonsense. If Ings starts, I'm throwing my television out the door. Well, I think most people, if they're there, will just go and get another pint, to be honest with you. If they see Ings are starting, they'll just stay in the bar for another 1 or 2. Not very confident predicting a draw, says Melissa. David says if the players play for the fans too, or Moyes, if Moyes has his way, a really difficult game. Yeah, I'd agree. Mr. Potato Salad will clutch it for us again, says Hammerhead. Really want to win home games, and anything away is also a bonus. We'll take 5 points for the next 3 games. No, we want 6. Right, the emojis are being flooded into the chat, which is nice. I'm going Spurs. I'd love to see a win. I was at the Antonio win. Yeah, we weren't there, so I haven't seen us pick up anything there. I've been there twice. Mike, you came. Was it last year or the year before? I don't
know. Last year I went to Spurs. Last year, yeah. I've been to Spurs a few times.
Yeah, I've been to Spurs a few times as well. I've never seen us win.
No. And that's going to continue into next season now as well, because we're not going. Yeah. Well. Right. It will be sweet when we see it, though. That is for sure. Right. Let's go on to some predictions then. Who wants to get in there first? Go on. The floor is open.
I'll let Mike go first.
Oh, how pleasant of you.
Well, very, very good of you, Gary. Well, I'm going the boring out 2-1.
And then Gary, now if you nick my prediction, because Mike for once hasn't. Gary, if you nick my prediction, it's going to be trouble.
In the prediction lead, I've gone 2-2.
Right.
Because that's what it's been for a couple of times. But being optimistic, depending on the lineup, Jake. If we go positive, if Kudos and Bowen makes it, I'm going to go for 3-1 for us.
There we go. Well, you've obviously looked at my prediction on the league, so you haven't gone for mine. No, mine is, I don't think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be another 1-0 to West Ham. I think we're going to grind it out. Why not? Souček again. Straight while the fire's hot. That's not a saying, but I've just made it one. It's something like that. That's it. That's it. Thank you. Made a fool of myself there. Hey, Mike, not as bad as us not knowing the architects of our own downfall.
Yeah, but week. I did ping it.
You got it. Yeah. Basically, about 2 weeks ago, we did a show. Yeah. Basically, 2 weeks ago, we did a show, and Gary, we could not think for the life of us. We were saying something downfall. It's the architect. That's the saying. It's the architect of our own downfall. Then Mike messaged me about 9 o'clock that night and said the saying, and I turned it down and went, "That is it."
Yeah.
And he looked at me a bit strangely, but anyway. Right, 1-0 to me. Gary, you went for
3-1.
3-1.
Asterisk lineup dependent.
Asterisk lineup. And Mike?
2-1.
2-1. There we go. Let's take some of your predictions. 2-1 says Lawrence. 1-1 says Sharky. 1-0 penalty. Who takes the penalties? Christ, we haven't had a penalty for a while. Paqueta takes the penalties?
Paqueta, I guess.
Yeah.
James Ward-Prowse, surely.
James Ward-Prowse. That is a shout. Maybe. Have we had a penalty so far this season? I think we have we?
Can't think of one.
Ken will let us know if we have. He's in the chat.
Yes, we did. Chelsea. Paqueta.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, Paqueta scored. That's it. Very good. Very good. Yeah, that was the last minute to seal the deal. 3-1. Yeah. Very good, Gary. Very good. I was at the Ravel Morrison game. That was brilliant. Yeah, I bet that was.
Did you hear about him today, Ravel Morrison? He got done for fraud.
Didn't he pay 50 quid? Didn't he pay 50 quid for a disabled badge and the bloke was dead?
Yeah, this bloke, what a talent! That goal against Spurs was the best, brilliant goal.
Amazing.
What a waste of talent. He's only 30.
Is he? Is he 30?
You think he's only 30? Yeah.
Wow.
What a waste of talent.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Threw his career away, says Peter. Sujet to score, but it will end up finishing 1-1. Kent is going. I'm going 3-2 to West Ham. Onus is on us to go for it. Alicia is going to be outstanding for Palace and Kudus for us. Yeah, Alicia always turns up against us. He's, of course, scored that goal to seal the deal for them in the last dying moments of the game in the reverse fixture at the London Stadium. It took a bit of a deflection, but it was a real good finish. And then there was the infamous press conference after where he was asked to explain the goal and he just said he scored and it was a good moment. Who remembers that? He just sort of answered like 2 words after scoring a last minute winner in a London derby. Strange, but yeah. We are due to hand out a pelting, says Hammerhead. Wow. We've won not playing well recently, so if we can continue that, I will be relatively content. Gary, some final thoughts?
Let's hope and pray the game is much better than the last 2 rubbish things we've had to sit through. I want some energy, some desire, some passion, and let's just try. As I remember West Ham as a kid, they used to always play entertaining football and go for it. That's what I want to see tomorrow. Let's just go for it.
Mm-hmm. Our last 2 games that have been incredibly flat, Mike, have been away from home. We return back to home for this game. And do you think that's got to add a bit of extra incentive to it? Because if we play like we did on Thursday night in the first half, that crowd is not going to keep quiet.
No, I think we're due to play well.
Yeah.
To be fair. We might play well and then not get a result, get a draw or something like that. But we are due to put a decent performance together. It's long overdue because it's been 3 or 4 games now where we've not been up to the level.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. I agree. Let's take some of your final comments before wrapping things up. 4-1 to the Hammers. Why not? It says Hammerhead.
Why not?
Confident. A 1-1 draw, says P. Gads. Ken says Rav, the same age as Lingard in the same youth system. And Pogba and Fergie said Rav was the best player. Incredible. What a waste. I tell you what, I didn't realise he was 30. I mean, he still could be playing at the highest level now, and look what he's done with himself.
I think he's older than Raheem Sterling.
Is he? Jesus Christ. Well, we will leave it there. Can Moyes outdo Roy at the London Stadium tomorrow? I do hope so. And if you're at the game, make sure you enjoy yourselves. And I'll join you for a match build-up show tomorrow as well. Right, I've got to explain this now. So it's a double show tomorrow because the FA Cup 3rd round draw takes place at approximately 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So I'm going to join you for a joint FA Cup 3rd round draw watch along and build up show live here. And I know what you're going to say, Gary. Manchester United.
Yeah, one of the top 6 away, guaranteed.
Probably.
Guaranteed.
So I will see you tomorrow at 12:45 if you can for the FA Cup 3rd round watch along and the build up to this all important London derby. Gary and Mike, any final thoughts?
I'm looking forward to Danny Ings' afro. That's what I would like to say.
Mike, can you top that?
No, I can't top that, Gary. No, just looking forward not to getting up early tomorrow because it's been an early game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it and hopefully we put on a performance and get a result.
Thank you very much, everybody, for watching in the chat. Boys, come on your irons. Thank you very much indeed for joining us, and I will see you soon right here on West Ham Official. Thank you very much. Have a pleasant Saturday evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Well, hopefully West Ham can get it done. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.